Welcome to Tales That Stay, stories that stay with you.
Have you ever felt less blessed than your co-workers? Less fortunate than those who earn more, live bigger, and hold a higher status than you? Rayan lived what most people would call an average life. He lived in a modest home and had a loving wife, children who laughed, argued, and slept peacefully under the same roof. Every morning Rayan woke up early, dressed for his 9-to-5 job, and drove to work in his small, reliable car. It wasn't luxury, but it worked. His basic needs were met. Bills were paid. Food was always on the table. Yet, deep inside, Rayan was never content. At work, Rayan often found himself staring out the office window, not because he hated his job, but because he resented the life he believed he deserved. His manager earned more, lived in a larger house, and drove a luxury vehicle, and the CEO, arriving in expensive cars, dressed impeccably, lived a life Rayan imagined as grand and effortless. Each sight fueled quiet frustration. Why them? Why not me? Rayan worked hard. Rayan followed the rules. And still, he felt overlooked. Gratitude slowly gave way to bitterness. At night, Rayan's prayers changed. They were no longer filled with thanks. They became complaints. Why is my life so limited? Why do others have so much, while I struggle? I deserve more than this. Without realizing it, Rayan had begun questioning rather than trusting. One day, while traveling for work, Rayan took a road far from the city. Silence took over. That's when he noticed a small hut, barely standing. And in front of it, an elderly man, alone, no electricity, no car, no visible comfort. Just two simple pots, one for food, one for water. Feeling thirsty, Rayan stopped his car and approached. "May I have some water?" he asked. The old man smiled warmly and handed him water fetched from a nearby stream. As Rayan drank, his eyes wandered. This man lived with almost nothing. Yet something was different. There was peace in his expression. Rayan asked bluntly, "Don't you feel like you're living a miserable life? Don't you think you deserve better than this?" The old man didn't take offense. He smiled gently and replied, "I have shelter. I have water. I have food, even if sometimes it comes from wild fruits. And every day, I wake up alive." Then he said something Rayan wasn't prepared to hear. "This world is temporary. I will leave it sooner or later. So why should I burden my heart chasing what won't stay with me?" Rayan stood silently. The old man continued, "When people share food, I thank God. When they don't, I still thank Him for the trees that provide. God has already given me more than enough. And I am content," Rayan finally confessed. "When I see myself as average, when I compare my life to my boss, or to my neighbors with bigger homes, I feel miserable." The old man looked at him kindly and said, "Never compare yourself with those who have more. Compare yourself with those who have less. Then you'll realize your life is someone else's dream." Contentment comes not from having more, but from appreciating what you already have. And never forget to thank God for it. Rayan drove home quietly. But this time the silence carried clarity. That night, he looked at his home differently. He looked at his wife with gratitude. He held his children longer than usual. Nothing had changed. Yet everything had. Rayan continued to work hard, but he stopped complaining. He stopped envying. He stopped questioning God. And for the first time, peace entered his life. Not because he gained more, but because he finally understood enough. If you compare yourself with those who have more, you will always feel poor. But when you compare yourself with those who have less, you will realize how rich you truly are. Contentment isn't about lowering your dreams. It's about recognizing your blessings while you move forward.